going on, YouTube gamers? Bonfire here, and we are playing Titanfall 2 from the pre-alpha tech test that is available this weekend. I've been playing it quite a bit over the last day or so for several hours, and I wanted to take a moment to share some of my first impressions of the game. So first off, I want to take a moment and just say that I am so very excited that Titanfall 2 is coming to the PlayStation 4, because I don't think it's a secret that I prefer my PS4 over my Xbox One. And I really do prefer the PS4 controller, the DualShock 4, over the Xbox One control. I'll take that any day. And it just feels so good with first-person shooters, and Titanfall 2 is no exception. So with Titanfall 2, my biggest takeaway from the time I've had with the game so far is that they have taken what they built with Titanfall and improved upon it. They didn't change things too much to where you're not going to recognize the game, but they simply took a lot of I can tell that they took community feedback, and they took what they had built and just improved on it. And one of the biggest improvements that Titanfall 2 has is they've added variety. And that's something the first game lacked of. There wasn't a lot of variety. So let's look at guns as the first one. Titanfall, the first game, only had, I think it was your basic 5 guns. They had a sniper rifle, they had a shotgun, they had an LMG, SMG, and an assault rifle, and I think there was a pistol or 2 in there as well. Now with Titanfall 2, you have those same types of classes of weapons, but there's more of them in each of those classes. So I think there's 2 different LMGs, there's 2 different SMGs, I think there's only 1 assault rifle that I've seen so far, there's a shotgun, 2 different sniper rifles, and so they've just added some more weapons, which is something this game greatly needed. On top of those weapons, there are attachments similar to what we saw in the first game. However, in just this pre-alpha, there's only like reticles that you can unlock and add to your game. Hopefully there's more of that, more different attachments in the final game. You can also add different perks to your weapons. So, for example, you can reload faster, you can aim down sights a little bit faster. Those types of perks you can add to your weapon, and all your weapons level up. So as you level up weapon, you get more attachments and perks that you equip on your weapon, and that's cool. I really like that they're adding this variety to the game. On top of the additional weapons that they've added to the game, there are abilities that you can equip to your pilot, and there's a couple different ones you can get in the pre-alpha. The 2 I've used so far is a sonar spike, which is a spike you can throw, and it kind of shoots some radar, so you can kind of see through walls in a certain radius and look for enemies. And then, as you've seen in all the trailers and stuff like that, is the grappling hook, which you can use. There are a couple of other abilities that are available in the pre-alpha that I haven't tried out yet. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. And lastly, you have new Titans. So there's 2 Titans available in this pre-alpha version of the game. You have Scorch and Ion. And the cool thing that they've done with the Titans is each Titan is unique. Now I know in Titanfall 1 that each Titan was, unique in terms of speed and size and durability, but now with these Titans, Scorch and Ion, they actually feel different and are noticeably different in how they play. So each Titan has their own unique weapons, their own unique powers and abilities, and they have different playstyles as well. So I'm trying out Scorch right now, and he's really slow. He's kind of a big tank guy, slow reloading and all that, but he's pretty powerful, and so that doesn't really fit my playstyle, but I'm trying to adapt to it, and it's kind of fun to learn how to play each of these Titans. On top of that, they all have their own personality. They each have a different voiceover, and it's cool. As you get into Ion, it's going to sound different than you would get into in Scorch, and so it feels like they're their own person. So, as I've stated, there's more variety within Titanfall 2, and I really appreciate that. However, I do want to point out that I really hope that this isn't all that's in the game. I have a feeling it's not. I feel like they're kind of holding some cards back, which I can appreciate. I know we haven't seen all the Titans. I hope we haven't seen all the weapons, and I got a strong feeling we haven't seen all the perks and attachments for all the weapons. So, crossing my fingers that there's more surprises. The next thing that really stood out to me is the refined gameplay. So Titanfall is known for its movement system, and you're always going to be on the move. You're running around, you're running on walls, you're double jumping and stuff like that. But the gameplay it feels good and it feels refined compared to the first Titanfall. A couple of things that stood out to me is that first, they've added sliding to the game, which fits in with its whole movement system. It's really nice to be running. You can slide underneath things, you can slide by people and slide into people and melee them, which is pretty cool. Second is they've changed rodeoing on Titan. So in the first game, when you rodeo on Titan, you jump up on it and you kind of shoot into its brain, damaging it, taking it down its health. But now in Titanfall 2, you actually still power cell from it, and what that means, you're basically stealing a chunk of that Titan's life in this cell. And this adds a whole new gameplay element, because if you were to kill that pilot who stole your power cell, you have to get out of your Titan, grab that power cell, bring it back to your Titan, and it kind of gives you some more life and a little bit of shielding as well. So I really like that aspect of it. You can even grab power cells that kind of drop around from other players and apply it to one of your teammates' Titans to give them a power up. So it's this whole new gameplay element with these power cells, and I think it's awesome. Third is that to acquire your Titan, instead of it being on a score and a countdown timer, it's now based on score alone. And that score, I don't know what that specific number is, it just shows a percentage on the screen, but you have to, kill enemies, kill AI, play the objective, whatever it be, and the more you do that over a period of time, the faster you'll get your Titan. And this kind of bothered me in one of the game modes. It was the hardpoint game mode, which is basically domination, in which it felt like it took forever to get my Titan. However, when I was playing their new game mode, Bounty Hunter, it was a lot easier to get a Titan because there was more AI and stuff like that to go kill. So I think maybe they need to tweak it a little bit, but I thought that was really interesting and wanted to point that out. And lastly, and this one doesn't really sit well with me, is that after your Titan's health is depleted, instead of your life kind of draining down and you have to eject right away, you don't have to eject right away anymore. You can only take a couple more hits before your Titan explodes, but you can just chill in their thing. As long as you're not getting hit, you're fine. And I didn't really like that. I liked that it counted down. It kind of made you panic a little bit. I think it added a little bit to the gameplay. So we'll see if that sticks or not, but again, I wanted to point that out. The last major thing that stood out to me that I wanted to touch on are the game modes. So within this pre-alpha test, there are 3 different game modes. You have the pilot versus pilot that has no AI and no Titans. You have the hardpoint game mode, which is kind of like domination. There's 3 different points that you have to capture. That has no AI and it has Titans. And then you have their new big game mode that they're promoting up called Bounty Hunter, in which there is AI and there is Titans, and you're basically fighting over the AI to take down these grunts, and there's random Titans that will spawn that are AI controlled, and you're basically collecting money by killing these things and other players and stuff like that. You have to deposit into the bank. It's actually a pretty fun game mode, and I actually think it's the best of the 3 because it feels more like Titanfall, because it has the AI involved. There's Titan AIs. It just feels more chaotic, and I think it feels like what Titanfall is going for. As with the other ones, when there isn't AI, it just doesn't feel as good. I know some people didn't like the fact that there were AI in the first Titanfall and like all the game modes, but with the way the maps are designed, and when you don't have AI, it just feels like there's a lot of empty space because you have to make room for all the Titans and things like that. So I would like to see them put AI into more game modes, or at least have the option to have AI in those game modes, just so they can kind of fill it up a little bit, keep it action-packed, and keep up the pace. Otherwise, it kind of feels slowed down. So overall, Titanfall 2 is fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. I will tell you that I'm more excited for their campaign. I really like what I've seen of that so far and can't wait to play it. But the multiplayer is shaping up to be a ton of fun. I'm having fun with this pre-alpha tech test, and I like what I've seen so far. I mean, basically, to sum it up, is that they've taken Titanfall and just refined it greatly, and it's vastly improved, and I think they've heard a lot of our feedback and have looked to improve on some things that needed some improvement. So there you guys have it, a long-winded first impressions of Titanfall 2. Let me know what you guys think about the game based on the gameplay, or if you've played it yourself, down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'm Bonfire, and I will see you online.
Yeah, now come up, it's shady you now. If you with me, put your hands up. On the fly, ladies, to the front, go ahead and stand up. Fellas, if you see the one you want, it's time to man up. Like, hey, oh, and if you see